Hello, everybody. It is Team Talk Tuesday. It is March 25th. This is the last like 6 days of the month, right? So we're down to a week in March, last full week of the new catalog of the first month of the new catalog. We're not getting rid of the new catalog this quick, but lots going on still. How are you doing with your bingo, your corporate bingo? I'm going to challenge you to pick two squares that you're going to cross off this week. Two squares, right? I don't, some of you are like, those will be my first two. Some of you might be like, those are my last two. But two squares. Drop in the chat and tell me what you're going to cross off your bingo this week. Is it the clean from the Mediterranean Spa Clean set? You guys, I don't know if you know, but in region 3, the dish soap sold out. So I would not be waiting in region 1 or yeah. Okay. And I'm not surprised because Mediterranean Spa is a really, really, really good, clean spa scent. So good. Perfect in your bathroom. Like, I'm going to clean all my bathroom with it. It might be the only thing that gets me to clean my bathroom. Also, we are in the last week of that join promo that's really, really good. And this is a really great month to recruit because they're launching with a new catalog, the time that people want new spring, summer, warmer scents, all the things. So I feel like it's a really good time for people to join and maximize on those automatic sales that people are in the season for. So all right, what else? Oh, I'm going to kick off. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something that we have coming. This now, for some of you, this won't be a surprise because if you're in my group, we've done this many years. I don't, Jess, have you done this many years or no? Is this a surprise for them?
Well, I think we just did it the first year, maybe the
Okay.
second year, but then after that, no.
And some of you may have joined in the past year, and so you haven't ever experienced it. But early sneak notice, we are doing active in April again. Now I'm going to tell you how we're doing it. Okay. We are, and we're not going to tell you all the things, but we're just going to tell you we're doing active in April again. So the goal is to get as many to help as many of you to get active and for you to help as many on your teams to get active in the month of April. This goes back to 2020. Like this was what we as a company came together. It actually launched us into hyper growth. We came together as a company and launched this initiative. The SSDs collaborated on the idea, pitched it. It picked up momentum in 2020, and it literally catapulted and changed the trajectory of our company. At that point, it was based on the fact that there was concern. COVID had just started, and we didn't really know what was going to happen to our businesses. But more importantly, what the SSD that kind of pitched the idea up front, she was worried about what was going to happen to all those home office employees, and she didn't want them to be without income or to lose their jobs. And we didn't know at that point, I don't think that we were going to be a essential business because we had some products that were considered essential. So there was a lot of concern. So we launched this active in April, and it's the whole concept is just each one does one, right? Like the goal is just to be active. Now, we're going to challenge you to a little more than active, but if everyone in your team was active in the month of April, think about what that does. Think about the momentum that builds, right? It's significant. And so we're going to have a job form to report it. You are going to shout out your results. If you are active earlier in the month, and we'll go back through this next week, but if you're active earlier in the month, you're going to get a little more entries than if you're active later in the month, right? And then we don't just want you to stop at 250 PRV, but for every 250 after that, you're going to get more entries. So it's a fun challenge. It's something that we will share ideas throughout the month on how to get active and all the things. And it's just, it's something anyone in this business can accomplish. Anyone can work their business and be active in 30 days in March. So I'm going to even, the brand new consultant, right? So we're going to challenge you active in April, and we're excited to bring it back to you. Jess, the floor is yours. But you're muted. So you can talk, but they won't hear you.
Yeah. It just told me you need to unmute. Okay. So I'm super excited for active in April. Also, don't forget, you guys, we have however many days, 5 or 6 days left to get that blue mushroom warmer if you went to World Tour. So you need those 5 parties to close out. I had to book 2 extra bag parties this week because I had 4 parties and I needed my fifth one. So don't forget that. So I have some more really super exciting news before we pass it over to Carol. I'm really excited to hear from her, but registration is open for our social and AI boot camp. So tell me in the chat if you have the app Chat GPT and tell me probably how often do you use it? Like I have the app, but I never use it, or I have the app and I use it every day. Yes. Before we got on here, I think it was Becky, I just saw a post that she had Chat GPT help her plan out her mystery boxes for her customers. And it was the coolest thing. I never even thought to do that. So I've been using Chat GPT for a while now, like probably a year, maybe a little more than a year. And so it has gotten to know me really, really well. And that's when it starts to get super good. I also have taken so many classes for social media. And I know some of you on here have taken a social media boot camp. I've done one before this. This is going to be our second one. And we're super excited. It's going to be different than the first one. And plus, you can always use a refresher, right? Even if you're pretty good at social media for your business, it's fun to learn with other people or even like help teach other people. So if you're pretty good at social media for your Scentsy business, still join us because we could use like all the help we can get, right? Because others could use ideas and help. So it's a 4-week course. We're going to start on April 1st and we're going to end on April 27th. Obviously, it's free and Chat GPT, there is a paid version, but the free version of Chat GPT will serve you well. So you can go ahead and download that app. Is your opt-in form on your page? If it's not, yes, it's there. So you can look on the team page and the opt-in form is there for you. And we'll send it out in email as well. So if you are excited, oh yeah, look, she's posting her. Welcome to the Peep Show. ChatGPT helped her figure that out. It's your business bestie. It's my business bestie too. Okay, so that's our exciting news. So April is going to be stacked with so much goodness. We're all going to get active together and just keep getting active. All the 250 plus PRV. And we're going to focus on social media together. I will tell you that one whole week is focused on using your stories to build your business. And that is one of the number one ways that I build my business, talking buy, host, and join in stories. So I'm going to share all the secrets with you guys. It's going to be so good. So you should go sign up. And I'm going to pass it to you, Carol.
I'm muted. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh my gosh. So excited to be here tonight. Okay. So I want to start off first. Whether you want to put it in the chat or that might be best. Throw in the chat what motivates you. Everybody can hear me, right? Yeah, good. Okay. So put in the chat what motivates you. Or you can unmute and shout it out. Money. Okay.
I'm driving, so I'm going to say trips and friendship.
Trips and friendships. Okay. Would somebody say community, food, financial freedom? Oh shit, it's going so fast. Okay. Here's the problem with chat. I can't read it that fast. Travel, freedom, community, kids, prize, money, incentives. Okay. Encouragement. Yeah. Okay. I love these. Friends. Okay. What demotivates you? What makes you not want to work? Drama. So good.
Long to-do list.
Negative people, long to-do lists. Okay. Laziness, people and their issues. Okay. Procrastination, no sales, disappointment, busy work. I like it. Disappointment. Okay. Talking over people. Well, I'm kind of guilty of that probably. Perfection. Yeah, I like it. Okay. What energizes you? What gives you guys energy? Because sometimes what gives us energy is different than motivation. So what gives you energy? What excites you? Karen. Is that oh, I like it. Zooms. Events. Yeah, being
exercise.
exercise, sunshine, helping others, coffee. Yeah. New products. Okay. New products. Seeing happy people. Okay. Working your Scentsy business. Yeah, that's my happy place too. Okay, what burns you out? What makes you feel burnt out? Taken for granted? Yeah, I hope that's not what energizes you. So I'm gonna assume we're on the next one. Task list, taking on too much. Incentive periods. Yeah, I feel you. Disorganized. Okay. Long lists, being overwhelmed. These kids, yes. Children, clutter, family, complainers versus problem solvers. Yeah, kids, family. Having to do too much. I like it. Okay, that is a great list, and I want to thank you for that. So here's the deal. I love that we start off with this because we've been through highs and we've been through lows. And as I've been talking to people and really going over like all these different things, what I am finding is that the list here is pretty much the same when it comes to almost everybody. And so I want you first and foremost to know that you are not alone. And that in order to create momentum, in order for us to be able to move into the next hyper growth or to have some momentum in our business, what is momentum? What do we have to make momentum? So put in the chat, what do you think we have to make momentum? Let's see if somebody gets it. Consistency, mindset, courage, organization, okay, desire, forward movement. Lexi, that is very good. Forward movement. So we've got to have excitement. We have to have energy. We have to have things. And so, like momentum literally can change your whole life. And so this is your moment as a leader. Okay. Or and you can be a leader even if you don't have a team. So you can be a leader in our company because of the actions that you're doing every single day in your business. And so the pace of the leader is the pace of the group. This is the separation season. So right now, what I'm telling you is those of you that dig in and work really hard, you will grow. You will have massive growth in the future. And those that don't, well, they won't. Okay, so momentum collapses time, and it can literally turn decades into years and years into months and months into days. And so I want to help you not miss this moment in time and to change it forever. So we can focus on what's not going right in our business, or we can focus on what is going right in our business. And so I want to share my perspective as someone who's helped create momentum, steer momentum, helped create it again, right? Because we constantly have to keep recreating it. It doesn't stay forever. I want to say motivation and momentum's like deodorant. You got to put it on every day, or like showering, you got to keep doing it. Okay. So you can't, but what happens when you have momentum, that's what is so exciting. And so whether you're brand new with the company or whether you've been here for a while, just hang in. This will all make sense, right? But momentum is the secret to life and business. And so think about right now, currently in your life, what do you have momentum in? For some of you, you may have momentum in your fitness. You may have momentum in your business. I want you to post it in the chat. What do you have momentum in currently? Or you have a really good rhythm going in your business, because momentum stems also from rhythm and having set consistent things in your life. And so eating out, working out, protein, momentum in your parties. Yeah. Momentum in business, my marriage. Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes we're like, dude, our marriage is on point. And then there's other times where it's a struggle every day. Right? So there's, you have both of these things. But as we talk through, like eventually you do create a rhythm. And by learning to build, create, and sustain momentum, that's the key to success. So if you think about a locomotive train, if you put a 2-inch wood barrier in front of a steel locomotive, it wouldn't be able to move an inch. Even as it starts up, it just would not get the momentum to get started. But if you have a full tilt, full in motion locomotive, 55 miles an hour going down the tracks, you could put a steel reinforced concrete barrier in front of it. And you know what would happen? It pulverizes it and runs right through it. So when things are super easy for us, when things are in momentum, we can plow through any obstacle. Doesn't matter. What happens though, as our momentum slows and as things slow down, we could stub our toe and not be able to work today. Or there's could be just some small thing that happens in our business, and now we can't work it. And so John Maxwell says, momentum is a leader's best friend. So you might want to write this down. There are 2 things he teaches that I want to share with you. So one, momentum is a leader's responsibility. It is your responsibility to create momentum in your life, and it's your responsibility to create it in your teams, my friend. Like I've been working at creating momentum, and we are feeling it in pockets and places. And in fact, Karen and I were having a discussion the other day, like we are feeling it in certain pockets, and so many leaders are feeling it. But then there's a lot of people that aren't feeling it because they have let other things come in the way. And so our responsibility is to create a vision and to assemble our team and pour into that team and pour into the momentum, enthusiasm, and passion, right, of our team. So the second thing he teaches is momentum begins inside the leader and spreads from there. Momentum is an inside job. In the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, if you've ever read that book, he has a law called the Big Mo. And that's the law of big momentum, and it's a big deal. It begins inside the leader and spreads from there. And we had a lot of momentum, you guys, during the couple years, and now that's slowed a little bit, but there's ways to get it back. So there's a couple questions that he asks that I want to encourage you to answer these questions. Okay. Have you taken responsibility for the area in which that you're a leader in creating momentum? So we have to take responsibility. It's up to us. If it's going to be, it's up to me, right? Like there's things where you have to think, okay, and then are you passionate about the vision? Can people feel your passion? Do you display enthusiasm at all times, even when sometimes things suck? And yes, I know that it's not always rainbows and puppy dog tails. I get it. There's crappy days and there's great days, but you guys, we are in the happiness business. We literally sell happiness. Mickey D's best-selling meal is what? Their Happy Meal. Come on. And their mascot used to be used a lot more, is a clown, which is the epitome of happiness. We sell a product that evokes emotion and that makes people happy. People like their homes to smell good. I don't have to convince somebody to put something on their face or to take it in their body or to take a trip or to go these things. I just literally have to make people's houses smell good. And so are you passionate about what you do? Do you love everything about what you do? And one of the characteristics of momentum that I'm going to talk about is going all in. So how many of you can relate to this? And we'll talk about that more in a minute. Like, do you have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake at the same time? Are you all in on this thing, but then I'm all out on this thing? Or, oh, my name's not on the locator, so now I'm all out, right? So there's like certain things in our business that could, I hate the word trigger, but whatever. It's that make us, we're like, oh, I don't want my heart broken. And so I'm kind of pumping the brakes and the gas at the same time. And is that going to get you anywhere? No, it's not. And so if you aren't fully enthusiastic yet, it's either because you want to protect yourself, and I get that because we've all been there, but your enthusiasm is contagious and infectious. So do you work to motivate others even when you don't feel like it? Because momentum starts with motivation. Momentum starts with actions. And if you're not feeling it, like I don't want to work my business, then you're not going to ever get to the momentum part. And do you model the attitude and work ethics of what you want to see want to see in others? And the way I like to ask this question is, would you want to mentor you? Are you a good mentor? Like, I want my mentor to walk the walk. I want the person's life that is mentoring me to show me how to get where they are. And so are you following what I'm saying? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're getting it down, picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, good. So it's like, would you want a whole bunch of you on your team? Your attitude, your daily work habits? Do you model, this great work ethic, or do you want a group of, do you want a group of you? I know I want a group of me because I work hard. Jamie Kern-Lima said it's your job to become the steward of momentum, and you create momentum. You create the momentum of trust on every time you keep your word. You create trust in your team, your friendships, and your marriage. If you're a leader, this is your calling in life. You're not here by accident. You are here on this call on purpose. You took an hour out of your time on a Tuesday night instead of watching TV. You're here, and you create this trust by keeping your word and being on this call. And in this moment of your life, in this place, in this time, in this company, in our company's history, you're not accidentally happening here, my friends. There is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. And this is all happening on purpose, by design. You are here on purpose. This happens for you and not to you. And this is your calling in life. And honestly, if you don't feel that way, there's a company out there that will make you feel that way if this isn't the one. But I would tell you, I wouldn't be here for 20 years if I didn't think this was not the company for me. And so there's a calling on you right now to lead and to be the leader that creates and harnesses momentum. No one else is going to do it. And so let me share with you 5 characteristics of momentum. So 1, people are all in. And someone, that's in momentum, they're all in. They're not wishy-washy. There's no lukewarm water. You don't accidentally land on top of a mountain. You have to intentionally climb. If you've ever hiked, you just don't be like, oh, wiggle my nose, boop, boop, I'm at the top. Maxwell says that all success is uphill all the way. You have to intentionally go up the mountain, and you have to be all in to make it to the top. And when I ask people, how are you feeling right now, currently? Some people are like, oh, I'm happy. Oh, I'm tired. I'm hopeful. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. And then someone has the courage to say that they feel the emotion of fear. Is this all real? Is this too good to be true? How many of you, right now, are ready for your comeback season? How many of you are feeling like, don't count me out just yet? I'm ready for this next season to be my best season. How many feel that way? Put it in the chat. How many of you feel like you have more fire in the tank? And how many of you feel like you're running on empty? So put fire in the chat if you feel like you're on fire, and put empty if you feel like you're running on empty. I feel like the time that I have left on earth, I want to help others. My chips are all in, they're on red. My guess is that some of you have to learn how to trust again. Do I want to bring other people in my life, into my orbit? When you get betrayed, it runs deep. And so sometimes people are like, oh, I put all my dreams, I put all this in, and now I don't have any proof. I don't have any proof of what I've done. But I would rather dare a mighty dream, pursue mighty goals, and fail than sit here with a story of oh, this didn't go as the way that I planned, or I didn't do anything. And I don't want to tell that story. I don't want to tell the story of that I gave up. And maybe you don't either. But if you let me go chase my dreams. Let me go fight for my family, fight for my finances, fight for my future, because that's what we have to do currently right now is to fight. We have to fight to get customers, to fight. Nothing is going to come easy. And my superpower is loving each other. My conviction has influence, and so does yours. When my conviction is like, we're going places, guys. We're on this locomotive that's going 55 miles an hour, and you better hop on. I'm going to reach my arm out and you better grab it because we're going places. And so I want to encourage you to go all in on your life, to go for it, to go for your goals, to go for your dreams, to make stuff happen, make commitments, be bold, have way more courage to just go for it. Our teams rely on our courage. So when your courage is at a 2, your team's is at a 0. But my friends, when your courage is at a 10, your team's only probably at a 2. Okay. But I mean, there's influence, but it's not like you're going to expect way more out of your team than you're actually going to get. Okay. So I'm just going to be real with you for a moment. But all the what if I fail? You guys, what if you win? What if this is your moment? And what if your whole life has prepared you for this moment? And so I really want to invite you guys to go all in on your life. Stop living as if your purpose is to arrive safely at death, because it's not. Run to the roar, go for your goals, go for your dreams, make commitments to say, like, I'm not done. My best days are ahead of me, and then go fight for this stuff, okay? Everybody with me? All right. Leaders in momentum are focused. We have to eliminate distractions. You've got to get some stuff on your plate, off your plate, and you've got to get dialed in. So I think what a lot of us focus on are stuff that makes us unhappy, personally. And so what I would like you to do is after this call, I would like you to make a list of like everything that you do and put a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. How much joy does it bring you to do? Anything that is a 5 or less, 5 to 1, like 1 is no joy, 10 is I freaking love the hell out of this and I never want to give it up, right? Okay. So if it's a 5 or less, figure out how to get rid of it if it doesn't make you money. Everything that's a 5 to a 10, keep doing it and do more of it. Because here's the deal. We're going to do more of the stuff that we like. And my mentor used to say, success will not attack you. You aren't accidentally going to succeed. You can't be scattered all the time. You have to have a clear plan, a clear focus, eliminate distractions, focus on the dream, not the drama, right? Friends, my friends, leaders in momentum, their teams aren't full of drama. They are focused on the dream. And we all start there. We all start focused on the dream, but Barbara and Sandy can't get along, and Harold and Henry are annoyed with each other, and their team is ripped apart because now we're focused on the drama instead of the dream. But you can accomplish the dream and the goals and eliminate, right? The drama for the teams. You can cheer them on. You can get out of your head and get into your heart and start contacting that chicken list. There's no chicken list. You literally just have to reach out to everybody, even if your palms are sweaty, and you can just tell people like, hey, I admire you. I admire you from afar. I think you're amazing. And, this may or may not be right for you, but I would love if you would take a look at my business, right? Focus, like maybe there's an outside chance that you would ever consider this, right? That I love using the outside chance. Keep it simple. Focus on launching new lines, launching new team members. Don't just try to squeeze things out of your current team. Trust me, they're not going to work harder. Okay. But the best thing that you can do for your current team is to launch a new team, because we turn into mother hens instead of building a new hen house. So when we build new fired up teams, it's the best thing that you can do. And then your old team will get fired up by the new people because of FOMO. You don't want to be left out. And it will take all their excuses away of why they can't work their business, because then they see proof of evidence, right, of other people working. So launching brand new teams and focusing on new people. How many of you are focusing on new people, launching new teams? Yeah. Okay, number 3 is consistent. You got to get consistent. Consistency compounds. Write that down. Consistency compounds. It will compound over time. And you can't be in it for a bit and then out. We have people where a customer says boo and they're out. Right? Or I didn't like these laundry studs. Okay, well, I'm out. This person doesn't like that. I can't keep working my business. Okay. But then they attend a training and they're back in. And then tomorrow, the next day, poop hits the fan and they're just like, oh, I'm out. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Right? So 2 great questions leaders ask, and I encourage you to ask yourself, is how far and how long? How far do you fall when the negativity hits? And how long do you stay down? If you're quick at getting back up, taking a hit and getting back up, you're going to go far. But you just can't fall down too far and you can't stay down too long if you want momentum. You got to bounce back up and be consistent. And so most people in this or in the whole network marketing, the whole industry, some people are in for a day and then they're out for the rest of the week. They're in for a month and then they're out for a month. Or they're in for a month and then like, oh, I got to take the whole rest of the year off. I can't do this, right? So just think about, like, if you literally just worked your business every single day for 15 minutes to 3-4 hours a day, how much further would you be at the end of the year versus someone who's in for a day and out for the rest of the week? That's the beauty of consistency, right? And so, and some people you're afraid to share, right, on social media. Well, think about this. All of your best prospects were ready when you weren't. Their boss is rude one day, they've had it at work. This was the day that they were ready to see your story or your posts about why they should join your company. And you had it in your head, nobody's interested in me. I'm out today. I got too much to do on my to-do list. And you know what that person's going to do? They're going to see someone else who decided to show up today. That's the reality of what's happening. And so you just weren't consistent. That's the bottom line. But if you're consistent, you're posting every day about your business somewhere, 1 or 2 stories a day, a post here and there, people are going to see stuff from you. And so imagine a scale of 1 to 10. How far do you fall? Do you fall to 1? Do you fall to rock bottom? Right? Well, I guess 1 to 10. Yeah, maybe 1 is not far and 10 is rock bottom on this scale, right? So every time something happens, where do you think you fall at? Put it in the chat. Where do you think you fall when you hit rock bottom? And how long do you stay down? And let me ask you this question. How many of you know people that have had just absolute trauma? Awful things happen, really heavy stuff that's happened in their life. Bankruptcy, divorce, addiction, painful stuff, right? Rock bottom. How many people know somebody that's been through that? And how many of you know that that same person is now living an incredible life because what they had happen didn't keep them down? They have an incredible comeback story. They bounced back. But how many of you guys know somebody else on the other side who's still at the bottom and still laying on the ground? They haven't got back up. Nothing. Right? It's like there are people who have resilience, and then there are people that just get kicked down and they can't get back up. And so you have to forgive. You can't grind on rock bottom forever. So if you're just really in this place where I'm like, I can't keep going like this. Every massive decision in life change comes with a moment where you step across the line and you decide, this is it. I'm not going to do this anymore. So we have to forgive. We have to move on. We have to be bigger than the obstacle. What's funny is, obviously you guys know a lot of the kids in the LDS community, the Mormon community, they go on missions. And what's funny is some of the kids nowadays, they're having trouble because a lot of these children, they have no work ethic. They don't even know how to work. And so they're having to teach this to the 18-year-olds that are now going out in the world. And so it's just like, but our kids learn work ethic from us and from teaching them an honest day's work and making it happen. And so think about also, if you have children, do you show up on the good days and the bad days? Do you have emotional strength, right? What do you do? Do you lead the way, right? Okay, number 4, you need to have a clear vision. They have clarity for you, like leaders have a clarity and then they provide the clarity for others. So this is your superpower. So what is one area in your business or your personal life where you feel like you have some momentum right now? Drop it in the chat. Where's somewhere in your business that you feel like you have momentum right now? And we kind of covered that, but a little bit earlier. But question number 2 is, what is a future vision or dream that you're crystal clear on? What is a dream or vision? Like, what's your next goal and your next vision? Success will not attack you, right? We talked about that. You have to attack success. And if I ask somebody, what is your latest vision? High performers can instantly tell me what they're working on. What's their next step? It's on the tip of their tongue. Oh, shoot. Other people cannot do that, right? And so clarity equals power. And so maybe like, what's your sales goal? What's your team goal for this month or next month, right? Let's start planning next month. And so I'm embarrassed to say, right? But there were times in my business where months turned into years because time passed so quickly and I didn't have a crystal clear goal. I didn't have the next thing that I was working for. So let's say like most of you, I'm assuming, have the big goal of becoming a superstar director, much like I did when I first started. Once I hit superstar director, I didn't have another goal. I'm like, I'm at the top. I have arrived, right? And you don't ever arrive. Let's just be clear. But like I had no clarity, and clarity equals power. And so it will give you the ability to speed it up your life, right? Because you're headed towards a goal and you're moving in that right direction. And so how many customers do you need to hit your next goal? How many active team members do you need to hit your next goal? Like hope is not a strategy. Hope doesn't create momentum. Plans and clarity do. Okay, number 5, they are high vibe and high frequency people. People who they vibrate at another level. And some of you guys have said that I do that as well. I vibrate at a whole nother level. But you got to turn down the noise and turn up the vibration. You got to turn off the TV, the social negativity, the news, right? You don't need it. All that stuff is lowering your frequency. My friend Becca Levi used to talk about how zinging, and she vibrated at $1 million frequency. Like in order to attract, you have to vibrate and be vibrating at your highest level. And like, I have a big vision for my life and for my family. And when you have this bigger vision, you have this attractive magnetism that people will gravitate towards you. And so I'm just going to say, turn off the noise, turn up the frequency. When I first started my business, I had to work all the nooks and crannies. I had a full-time salon job. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I was a hairdresser for a long time. And I worked 60, 70 hours a week. I did hair and nails all day long. And when I wanted to work my Scentsy business, I had to be so dang laser focused when I had that hour appointment that never showed up, or in the morning before I started work, or in the evening before I went to bed, right? And so if I wasn't chasing my goals and I decided to watch TV instead, I wasn't going to win. And so I like to also, people say, do you watch sports? I was like, hell no. Unless my kid is playing in it, that's the only sport I watch, just so we're clear. I don't have time for sports. So, because I want you to win, not a sports player to win. I want our team to win, and I want to cheer for you louder than I cheer for Taylor Swift. Okay. So I hope you guys cheer for yourself and be your own biggest fan and be your own best cheerleader, better than your favorite sports team. Spend the time working your business. And then Wendy Keith Newgas has talked about the news. And I don't watch the news, but I do her news every day, which is nutrition, exercise, water, and sleep. Okay, so I do the news every single day, because if you don't put yourself first, no one else will. And so put that kind of news into your routine, but don't do that. Okay, and really quick. 5 ways to capitalize on momentum. So you want to lean into momentum, lean into it, right? Once you hit momentum, it's easier to get customers and team members. It's easier to get people plugged into systems, but there's a downside to it, because this is what happened to us, is your team starts to coast then on the tailwind. They're hitting numbers, so they stop focusing. And this is what happens. This is what happened for us during COVID, right? And so you put in a 3 effort and you got out a 6 reward. But now, you guys, we have to put in a 6 effort to get maybe a 2 or a 1 return. Okay, so you have to lean into building again, and then use their story to build your story. So this is a big secret I learned about building networks, is when people aren't growing, you have to use stories of those that are. Use stories to show that it's possible. So even if they're not on your team, use their energy, their positive vibes. Some teams will be growing, some will be stagnant, and some will be down. That's in our whole company. We have teams that are growing, we have teams that are flat, and we have teams that are shrinking. And so focus on the amazing stories and how it's all happening, right? Some people, even in probably here, they're like, my business sucks, my business is okay, my business is amazing, right? So we have all 3 different types of, and that's great. How many of you guys are going to convention, right? You go to convention. I'm so excited, right? But so your first convention, you're so excited, but by your 9th convention, you're like, just kidding. Sometimes you're just like, okay, all these people going across the stage earning things. Well, you know what? Instead of golf clapping, if this is your 100th time at a convention, start learning the people's names that are walking across the stage, because you know what? They're killing it in their business and you need to get their story. And I found that I've got better at telling everybody else's story, and that in turn builds my story. And so never resent success. Write that down. Never resent success. And here's why. Because if it's possible for one, it's possible for many. And what if it wasn't? What if no one was winning? Well, that would be very discouraging. Right? That would be very, very, very bad. But when people are winning, it's possible to plug into their energy and to share what they're up to. A rising tide lifts all boats. There's plenty of business for everybody. So your story and your team will grow, and this validates everything that you're doing. Okay, so all in, all of us, all on fire, that will help everyone. Okay. Number 3, add more value. So many service to many leads to greatness. So you've got to serve at a higher level. And here are some questions you can ask yourself. How can I add more value to my friends? What training or tip can I provide friends of mine that are in the direct sales space? They don't have to be in your team. They can just be in your same industry. How can I help them grow in their current business? Because when we are adding value, you put yourself into a situation where if their situation ever changes, you're going to be the first of mind. And they're going to call you if their company shuts down. And you'll be the first call they make. And so building relationships with people over time will serve you. And so just know that you have that ability. So think with your heart, not with your head, right? Keep going. Okay. Number 4, stop recruiting people to launch teams. Stop recruiting people and start launching teams. Sorry, my bad. The goal is to not just recruit Holly. Okay. I'm using Holly. I hope there's not a Holly on here. So a lot of people think, because in 6 months, if you just recruited Holly, it's just going to be you and Holly. But the goal is to build a team. So when you go to Holly and you say, hey, let's lock arms and let's build an organization. People know people. Holly lets you into her world. You work through Holly to get into her network, and versus recruiting one person. You're going to now recruit her network. And so if you think bigger, it's Holly plus you plus now 100 people that she knows, or 1,000 people. And the old scripture says if one can lead 100 a flight, 2 can lead 10,000. Stop hunting people down like you're a trophy hunter. And your goal is to help. My goal is to help you earn X in X amount of time. And I'd love to do that with you. Can you imagine how much fun we'd have? Let's do this together. I'd love to do this with you and a few friends. Who do you know? Right? Taprooting, getting into other people's networks. Number 5, encourage you to be urgent. You guys have to be more urgent. You guys all seen Hamilton? They have this song called Nonstop. I love it. You have to work like you're running out of time. You got to make your mark. You're running out of time, guys. Remind yourself you're mortal. And why are you so worried about what everyone else is doing? You've got to focus on what you're going to do, because this isn't going to last forever. You're not going to live forever. And so when you live life with more urgency, you chase your dreams faster, you do things with, there's no tomorrow, right? When you're like, I gotta work for today. I gotta live for today, go for my goals, and do the things, right? I would rather keep fighting every single day in an arena. I want to die marred, right? I want blood everywhere because I gave it all and I fought till my last breath. I don't want to be like, I kicked it on the couch today and got a lot done. No, I want to be out there fighting for everything that's important to me. And so I just want to encourage you, don't get complacent. Don't get too cool to think I'm too cool to do these kind of things. Go out, be crazy, do awesome things, throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, right? But chase that stuff. And this is your time. I want you to lean into it and to go for it. And I want to be building the next momentum train with you. And so I'd love for you to right now get in, hop on the board, and let's go. Okay. Kobe Bryant, best quote of all times is, the biggest mistake that we make is to believe that we have time. So now is your guys' time. And I'm so thank you for letting me be on here tonight. And I have a minute for questions, or let me know. Otherwise, I gotta go.
This was amazing. I loved it. Okay, so she said she had like a minute for, oh, is somebody asking? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just like loved it, everything.
Thank you. I was like, oh, I did this for a talk the other day and I thought this is pretty good. I think I'm going to keep moving with this because I just feel like this is what everybody needs right now in the current moment, is just dig in and work, guys. And because some of you aren't fighting anymore. That's just all there is to it. And we want you to fight, and we want you to dig in and want to win, because winners don't give up. Yeah.
Your vibration is vibing tonight. I think we all feel it. It's so good.
I'm ready to fight. Let's go. I'm going to beat you up. Just kidding.
Aw, she could cry. She's so happy and inspired. I love that.
Noemi, I love you so much. Fight club. Yeah, we're gonna have let's do a Scentsy fight club. Let's go.
Yeah.
New rule number 1, we don't talk about it.
I was like, I feel like Jess could make us hats, right?
Scentsy fight club. We'll make shirts for convention. People will be like, what is this? I'm like, well, you can't talk about it. You just had to be there. Sorry. I love it. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you took lots of notes and that you will just put into action tonight, tomorrow, something that you learned today in this. And I am excited to see where you guys are as we continue forward.
Thanks, Carol. I know you got to go pick up.
I gotta go Uber my kid to basketball. So thanks for having me tonight, and let's keep vibrating high. Okay. Love you guys. Talk soon.
Wow. That was awesome.
Do you want me to stop the recording?
Yeah, I think we could end it there. That was really good.
All right.